Howdy. That's a quick one. I should sleep. Severe weather Europe. Winter 2022-23 snowfall predictions. The jet stream shift from the cold La Nina is forecast to have an impact on snowfall patterns next season. I won't make a whole read through because that's too long for this time. Winter 22-23 snowfall predictions show a global climate signal from La Nina, now active for a third consecutive year. From Canada to the United States and across the Atlantic to Europe, we will look at the snowfall forecast and trends for the upcoming winter. First, we will look at the leading global weather driver in the upcoming weather seasons, La Nina. What does the latest ocean analysis data show and what are the expectations? Then, looking at the global long-range weather forecasting system and historical data analysis, you will see the first snowfall prediction for the upcoming winter. Red probably means that there is no snow. Yeah. The Arctic is as red as the Sahara. But anyway, large-scale seasonal weather influence. ENSO is short for El Niño Southern Oscillation. This region of the equatorial Pacific Ocean changes between warm and cold phases. Typically, there is a phase change around every 1 to 3 years. The cold phase is called La Nina and the warm phase is called El Niño. We are currently in La Nina phase, entering its third year, a rare occurrence. And so significantly influences tropical rainfall pressure patterns and the complex exchange between the ocean and the atmosphere. We observe large-scale pressure changes in the tropics with each new developing phase. These changes affect circulation over the rest of the world with some delay. And I found somewhere down something interesting. Yeah, maybe here we could go into that. Winter 22-23 snowfall predictions. The format will be straightforward. We will look at two well-established seasonal weather forecasting systems. First is the ECMWF, and then it's the UKMO. UKMO. You will see the average snowfall forecast for the November, December, January period, and then we will do a monthly breakdown. There are a lot of details in the monthly forecast that the whole seasonal averages does not show. In this first snowfall prediction, we will look at February, as some of the data is not yet available. And besides that, February is also at a long lead time, but we will include it in all future updates. ECMWF Winter 22-23 snowfall forecast. We will start with the ECMWF, the most often used and highly regarded seasonal forecasting system. First, looking at the average image for Europe, we can see quite a weak snowfall forecast. Most of the continent is forecast to have less snowfall than normal. No snow in the Alps. The November forecast shows some potential for increased snowfall in Central Europe, but most of other parts are forecast with less snowfall than normal for this month. Now we have some snow. But that's still a forecast. The December snowfall forecast shows strong negative anomalies. The pattern seems under the influence of a high-pressure system, as the forecast does not permit a lot of widespread snowfall scenarios. And I was thinking that, for example, this picture, I have shown this many times. The red ones, I think, are positively charged areas and the blue one negatively charged. But I don't know. I tried to get answers. I asked them, but they took the whole page down and didn't answer. high pressure system and low pressure system. And here, somewhere here, we have the Kursk magnetic anomaly. Kursk MA, which is very intense, and I think due to Earth's magnetic field weakening, these kind of imprints in Earth's crust will have a bigger and bigger influence in future in terms of weather patterns. But I think I'll leave it here. I'm really tired. I should sleep. You can read. I recommend you to read the whole forecast. Keep in mind it's just a forecast. And it's probably based on, how to put it, old assumptions about how weather works. They don't take space weather into account and telluric currents and surface conductivity anomalies or magnetic anomalies or whatsoever. And this surface conductivity anomaly, what we are looking here at, is maybe just, or it is just one on Earth's crust. The whole Earth is full of them. These kind of things are all over the place. And I haven't found too many of those yet. That's somehow, yeah, that's outstanding, this map. That's the same thing. Here we have, for example, Oku, which means Outokumpu, which there is one of a former, was it the third most important copper mine in Europe some years ago? One of the most important copper mines of Europe. Either way. I mentioned this also in my paper, and I have to say I found this map because I was watching weather patterns here in Scandinavia. I noticed something, and I really thought that something is hidden somewhere. There has to be something, because how I learned about weather back in the days, there wasn't anyone talking about surface conductivity anomalies or whatsoever. Never. No one. But there is a very strong connection between these kind of things on Earth, this, like on the surface or in the surface, beneath the surface, and all the things above, Earth's atmosphere and beyond. It is just, it's not anything you would find in mainstream. And I have been contacting the Finnish Meteorological Institute and also EPOS, European Planetary Observation System. They made this map. They took it down from the net. They didn't answer me. And I'm still waiting for answers from many people about this and weather. But they don't answer. Recently, a professor answered me, which is, one of its specifications is like weather influencing chemtrails and these kind of things. And I sent him a mail with this picture and some text and some other pictures. asking him for a professional opinion about these things. He said that he doesn't know anything about these things and I should take contact to some other professor. So I did. I sent the exact same mail to this other professor, which is obviously even higher in the hierarchy of whatever thing they are in. But still waiting for an answer since about, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks. Let's see, I'm excited. If I get an answer from him. If I wouldn't get an answer, it would be just one of those many people who just don't answer. Which is very interesting. Total silence. And I also mentioned them that if I am asking, I am honestly asking a professional, because I'm not a professional. I am honestly asking a professional about these things because I think they're important. Because Earth's magnetic field is weakening and all these other things which are going on. We are upon it. Big cycle has started. It influences everything on Earth. You probably have noticed some changes in your life. So I think they are important because if the weather is bad, almost everything else is bad too. For example, less food, which is a bad thing. And also just let alone how big influence like this less food thing can have on everything. Everyone has to eat. Doesn't matter what profession you're in or whoever you are, you have to eat. Everyone has to eat. So now just think like if you or if we and they, everyone would understand more about these kind of things or even just know that these kind of things exist and really have an influence on many things. We would be probably better off. The amount of ignorance would probably go down. Yeah, I know it's difficult. Waking people up is, in a way, the best way to get your own peace because no one is talking to you anymore. Anyway, they will see. And I think there are a few people out there. I've been trying to tell them a few things like 2 years ago or even longer. They watched at me like I would be nuts. And now probably they're thinking when they go to bed and try to sleep and they just have read some news or whatever, and they think that, yeah, damn, I remember what this other guy told me once. And back then I thought he's crazy. And now I think I probably should have listened better. But they won't ask anymore anything because they're freaked out. Many people believe, or just through a habit, are rather scared than start to learn, start to ask, start to think for themselves. because they think it's just easier. Probably they even think it has to be done like that. Being scared is a duty of common people. No, it's not. Definitely not. But anyway, I think I leave it here. I try to get some sleep. There's so much stuff to do. And yeah, let's see. Probably tomorrow got to talk about some rainfall in Germany or whatsoever. Maybe there's some quakes going on as well there. There has been some deep quakes in the Alps. Or at least one deeper quake. And there are like so many other things which could be reported on, or however you put it, about nuclear power plants and all kinds of other things. But let's see. These are the times of times. Everyone has to prioritize. And like I said it many times, I wrote it many times, there is no money involved in this channel except that it costs me. I spend my own time. I don't care how many people watch my videos, because it doesn't matter. I don't win anything through that. If there's 1 or 20 or even 100 views, I won't get rich or whatsoever, because there's no money involved in that. It's all about, there is no meaning in life, but you can give it a purpose. And it's, after all, one question. Are you one of the, how to put it, the good ones? Like, if you just complain about stuff and don't contribute in any way, there's no value in that. And I just try to contribute. I'm really thankful for having found, how to put it, a new worldview. And all the people which have been talking about these things for many years. If I only would have known this earlier, or learned this earlier, or whatsoever. But I didn't. Over 40 years. Thinking about Einstein and Brian Greene and all these kind of things. Turned out it was all a waste of time. But it's very interesting. I'm really thankful for this experience, which provided me with several moments of being mind blown. So mind blown, like I was crying like a baby. This happened maybe 4 times. I didn't knew before that there can emerge such an amount of fluid from your eyes. It can be a massive amount. It's just running down. It's like incredible. Just because of being mind blown. That's quite a thing to experience, I tell you. The best thing ever. Like, if you ever cried, for whatever reason, afterwards you feel different. I think crying is some kind of a body discharge event. There is, like, the composition of tears is different according to the reason why you're crying. And I don't know, once I managed to capture 1 teardrop into a spoon. A tear of being mind blown. And if I would have had the possibility, I would have brought it to a laboratory and asked, what's it made of? I really want to know. What is this tear made of? But I couldn't, like, there's no. To what laboratory I would send these kind of things? They would. They would think I'm crazy. And, like, these were very, very beautiful experiences. And since they were experiences, there could be many books written about these. Like, if you get one experience about something, you can. How to put it? You can read 100 books about how to ride a bike. You will learn it when you ride a bike. If you rode a bike once, you can write 100 books about it. That's what I mean with that. But anyway, I drifted off a bit. I leave it here. Good night and see you next time. Thanks. Bye.